I want to talk to you about a very concerning trend that I'm seeing in the Twin Cities real estate market. And if you are a buyer and especially a seller, you want to pay attention to this, all right? So it's this idea of pocket listings. Now, a pocket listing is when a listing agent has a property for sale, but they withhold it from conventional marketing like the MLS. And the reason this is so important is because these agents are keeping these properties in-house to market to their very small buyer population and maybe a very small network of agents like the in-house agents and maybe a few others. But it's a very small network, right? So this can create a lot of problems, especially in the Twin Cities. We have a ton of realtors, like 14,000 in the metro area. Now, and a large reload population. So with all the Fortune 500 companies, you have a lot of people coming in from all over the country and really all over the world. So when an agent decides that they want to keep a property off market, and we'll talk about what their incentive is for doing that shortly, they're really doing a disservice to the seller. So there's 3 perils to pocket listings that I want to talk about. One being lower price, 2 being terms, and the 3rd being the potential for a dual agency situation, which is not good for sellers or buyers. So first, lower price. Anytime you market a property and you don't expose it to the widest possible audience, you're creating a big problem for the seller. Because how do you get the best possible price when you're only asking a very few people if they're interested in buying? You can't do it. The second one is terms. So price is only one term, right? There's a lot of terms that go into a contract. And again, if your realtor is only asking, say this little blue sliver represents their network versus the 14,000 realtors that work in the Twin Cities, how do you get the best deal? Not just price, but the best terms and overall deal for your seller. You really can't. And the 3rd peril of a pocket listing that is so important is when an agent keeps it in-house, the chances that you're going to have a dual agency situation is going to be much greater and much more problematic. So what is dual agency? Dual agency is when the agent represents both buyer and seller. Now, how can an agent possibly represent the seller, get the highest possible price and the best terms, while simultaneously representing the buyer and getting the lowest price and the best terms from them? I mean, you just can't possibly do it. And on top of all that, the motivation for doing dual agency for a lot of agents is they can double or more than double their fee. So they don't fully represent buyer or seller and they're making twice as much money. How is that good for anybody but the realtor? So be very cautious of pocket listings. It can be very problematic. If you want to talk about it further, feel free to give me a call and I'd be happy to do so.